You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be like, we've got a studio at home and it is really nice and we've got lovely lighting and great cameras and stuff. We still don't always get it right, but we try really hard. However, all you need to do really, if you're going to look good on camera and sound good on camera, is work on three things. It's your video, it's your audio, and it's your background. That's really all you need to work on. And none of those things require huge amounts of work to get right. Now, just to give you the context, the worst thing you can do on Zoom, and a lot of people do this on Zoom, is they'll either have they'll have the laptop on and it's looking up their nose, so it's really weird, or they'll have maybe on a different screen, so the camera's on one side, they're looking at the people in the Zoom call on the other screen. It's like, well, it looks like you're not even looking at the camera. But all of these things, I'm going to give you these sort of like 6 or 7 tips just to make yourself look and sound good on Zoom. Some of them will cost you money, but most of them won't. First of all, let's start with the video. First of all, have your video at least so the camera is eye height. You want to be ideally sort of chest to top of your head in the camera. I usually try and have about 3 or 4 fingers away from the top of the frame. And that gives you a nice framing. Secondly, don't have the camera so close to you. The number of people we interview and I have to go, you do us a quick favor, can you just either you sit back or you move your camera back? Because they're just basically like, hello, it's like, stop it, go away. So that's really sort of your video. And in terms of your actual video equipment, a webcam is good. Like most people have got, I think it's a Logicam C920, which is those ones which you sit on top of your screen. Most people got those. They're okay. But if you are in the Apple ecosystem, then there's something called continuity camera, which means that you can actually you can plug in your iPhone into your laptop, if you assume you've got iPhone and MacBook, and you can actually have your webcam can be your iPhone, and your iPhone camera is about as good as almost any digital camera you can buy for less than £1,000. I know.
This is on an iPhone.
Yeah, these are on. All our secrets are coming out now. So that's really sort of like the main thing, is just make yourself look as good as you possibly can. In terms of lighting, now this is a big one. We had a guest on, I'm not going to name who it is, we had a guest on, and they were sitting there and they had two windows behind them with the blinds up, and they just looked really like washed out. They look like they're on Crime Watch. You know those things on Crime Watch where they're all shadowed out? That's because your camera, no matter what you use, your camera is looking for light. That's the way cameras work. So if it sees a huge light source behind you, it's going to grab all that light and forget about anything in front of you. So tip number 1, don't sit with a light source behind you like a window. Tip number 2, if you do have to do it that way, just drop some blinds. You will see it'll make a massive difference. Secondly, if you've got a light, now you've got a ring light, what a lot of people do is put the ring light straight on their face. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be putting it against a wall or something, diffusing off the ceiling, something like that. So the light bounces off the ceiling, comes back down diffused. It'll make you look so much better. You can do the same with a floor lamp or any other kind of lamp. You don't need a ring light. Just get a really strong bulb, bounce it off the ceiling, and you'll look really good. And that's really it for cameras. Lee, before I rant on, any thoughts?
I mean, I have follow-up questions. I mean, the one thing that gets me right is that we're in this world of podcasting, but also our entire world works online. We tend to work remotely the majority of the year. Our clients are remote. We're remote. We're good at being remote. Some people aren't as good at being remote, and it's surprising because we had the pandemic where everyone was remote. So I guess my question is like, what's if I can only get one of them right? Is there one that's more important? Like, is it getting my video right is better, getting my audio right is better, getting my background is better? Because you do checks with every single guest that comes on the show now, and you have for like the past 4 or 5 months or so to coach them through these things. So which is the most important? Is there a running order?
Believe it or not, it's audio.
Right.
Most people, you'll notice this yourself. If you start watching a YouTube video and the audio's pretty good, but the video's not great, you'll watch it. If you watch a video where the video's really good, but the audio's really bad, you'll click off. So audio is the most important thing. Now, well, let's talk about audio then, because you can go like full on knobhead like we have and get these mics, and they are fabulous, and they're not that expensive, about 200 quid each or something. Maybe what's that, about $220. But they have to be very close to you. So yes, you can do that, but that's like the best of the best. The next one down is getting a shotgun mic, and that's some which can sit behind your camera, and it just basically directs itself right at your face, and it picks up your sound much better. Again, you're still talking 100, 150 quid to get a fairly decent one. What I would suggest is just using AirPods or like Android equivalents, the Bluetooth pods, because most of them unless you're buying like the £9 ones on Wish, or what's the other one they have in the UK, unless you have those, they're going to have a pretty decent mic in them. So just sync that up to your computer. If you have some of the if you have like some wired ones with a microphone in it, that's great too. Now, a couple of other tips with the audio. First of all, never ever, unless it's just like a really like we have a quick call with your team or something. But even then, I would counsel that you should make an effort. Never ever just have the audio coming out of your laptop and your microphone in your laptop, because what happens is the audio comes out the microphone, comes out the speaker, goes back into the microphone. It makes you sound all echoey. And the second tip is, no matter where you are, try not to sit facing a hard surface like a wall. Because if you've got a wall, what will happen is you'll talk, it'll go into the mic, whatever mic you're using, it'll bounce off the wall, and a quarter of a second later will go back into the mic, and that's what makes you sound all echoey. Is when you've got it's the echo is your voice going into the mic, bouncing off something else and going back into the mic.
And is that also why sometimes when I speak to people I can hear myself?
That's usually because they've done the first thing. They've not got any headphones in or anything.
So I'm coming out of their speakers, then it's coming back through their mic into me. I can't continue to talk if I can hear myself. I can't concentrate. Okay, so sound is most important. Backgrounds, because I remember reading some research that was about this, impressions that we make on Zoom. And it was saying that actually we're pretty good at making positive and negative first impressions, and as good as judging them and making decisions about them over Zoom as we are in face-to-face. But there was a couple of caveats, and one of them was about how backgrounds can actually provide more cues potentially about who a person is. So, for example, I've got a picture of my dog in the background, then you're going to know that I love dogs. Or, for example, you might see that I'm in somewhere that is maybe very plain. It might give you a sense of potentially where I live.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Leanne. I think when it comes to background, there's a couple of rules. First of all, don't have a white background. There's a lot of people who think, oh, well, I'll look more professional if I've just got a white background. No, you look like you're in prison. So don't do that. Have something in the background. And it doesn't matter if it's like shows you a little bit of your life. Like I was speaking to some guy the other day, he had a cot in the background. Now he just got a newborn baby. So I'm like, well, that's fine, because it's something to talk about. So have something in the background, even just a plant or something, but ideally some shelves or something which and you can use that to tell people a little bit more about you. The second thing is, don't sit right next to your background. If it's possible and you've got the space, pull your desk forward about 2 or 3 feet. What's that about? About a meter? Pull it away from the background, because no matter what camera you're using, it's going to be it's called depth of field. It's going to make it look a little bit better. And also, if you're right up against something, it just looks a bit weird, crowded. So try and do that. If you do use your iPhone for that, then it's got a brilliant depth of field, which means the further away from the background it is, the more blurry it is, and it looks all cool and like cinematic.
And where do you stand on like the fake backgrounds?
Don't.
Why?
Because when you move like this, then it shows you. If it's a fake background, it's like wearing a wig on a Zoom call. It's like, why have you got a fake background? What's going on in your background? And I start thinking more about why is it fake than... And when people do the blur thing, and that's just... I mean, it's got better, but still. Then there's some people who do it, and it's like a library or something. And I'm like, are you on the same call as the other person I spoke to 2 weeks ago who had exactly the same background? No. I would suggest don't do it. Be authentic. Some people talk about a green screen, and you can get these green screens that sit behind you. There's some which even attach the back of your chair, like in a big circle around you. Yeah, you can do that. But if you start using Zoom with an actual green screen, like proper like screen, physical screen, then it uses a lot of your computing power. And so that's why you've got laptops which will overheat, or you'll hear the fan spinning, which will affect your audio. So my advice, don't. Just be authentic. Just spend a few minutes having a look at sorting your background out. And then before you jump on a call, just make sure there's like no dirty knickers hanging from the window or something, or make sure you haven't got like your breakfast sitting behind you. So yeah, that's my advice. Oh, and finally, clean your lens. Clean your lens for all that is holy and good. Just get a little cloth and clean your camera lens, because oh my God, it looks so much better.
No, I like it. And I think it's really good advice for anyone in a leadership role that does a lot of video calls, video meetings. These are things that are going to affect how you come across, your level of influence, how you're understood, how engaged your people are going to be. You're going to want to make sure that these things are all done. And particularly for anyone out there who is a thought leader or wants to really, change the world with their messages around organizational life and leadership and well-being. Again, it's going to be much more credible if you've kind of got these things sorted. And as a typical budget then, just to get like, I've not got loads of money to invest in this, but I'm willing to invest a bit. How much am I going to need to get a decent camera, a decent microphone, and some kind of something with my background?
Okay, probably less than $200. Because if you've got an Android, then there's lots of things on Android. I think they're called Elgato. Elgato's got I forget, virtual cam or something, but just Google a way to connect your Android to your laptop. You can just use your Android phone, so you don't need a proper phone. You've got an iPhone, as I said before, they connect natively to Mac. Your mic will be the best thing you can do. And you can actually go and get, I've only ever seen it written down. I think they're called lavalier mics. Please tell me in the comments how you actually pronounce that word. But the ones that newsreaders have.
Yeah.
Pin on here. You can pin it on there. Plug it into your mic mic socket in your computer. That's going to be 100 times better. And you can get those for 30, 40 quid. Rode does a really, really, really good one, about £60. RODE. That's all the equipment we use here. And that's it. Background should just be stuff you've got at home. Just go and move a plant. That's it.
Lovely. It's a very affordable, actually. And if people want to learn more about how to get all this stuff right, Al, maybe engage you, because I know you've actually done some coaching around this. Where do they go to book in that opportunity?
Well, I'd love to say I've got a fancy website, but I don't. Just go to the show notes. You'll see al at oblong.com, oblonghq.com, or al at truthliesandwork.com. Go to the same place. Drop me a quick email. I think the main thing we just need to remember is we're not about being YouTubers. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. There we go. Mic drop moment of this, and that's on brand from what you were talking about before.
Yeah, lovely. Al, thank you very much. I'll leave a link to all of that in the show notes.